Prince Harry does look like he wanted to come home, but was he refused, rebucked, or simply ignored? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the heart of London. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you're keeping well as ever. Welcome one and all the brand new subscribers. I'm noticing you do get involved. It's lovely to have your company. And thank you so much for, as ever, the wonderful comments about the ties and the locations that we film in. I do make an effort. I'm so glad that it's appreciated, and thank you for allowing me to share so much of London with you. I really enjoy it. You know, there's so many undiscovered places. We've got lots of trips and lots of ideas planned, and we may be even going out of London soon. So yeah, we might be finally escaping and going to somewhere new. You never know. But back as ever to your royal story of the day. Now, as we know, there was one thing that really upset Prince Harry when he was dismissed, or mexited, whichever way you want to call it, from the British royal family, and that was the stripping of his military, well, titles, whatever you want to call it, his military associations. That was the one thing that, of course, he thoroughly enjoyed. We all know that because he's often cited that being in the army was one of the highlights so far of his life, and I'm guessing that's going to be one of the major elements of his book. Not exactly a great selling point if people, particularly Penguin Random House, want a lot of bang for their books. Not while I'm not saying it's not a worthwhile story, but a lot of people want the inside track on the British royals, and that is not going to be a major seller for Prince Harry. But back to the main story of the day. It's interesting to note, though, that recently we had the very lovely, I always find Kate so charming with the press, the Duchess of Cambridge meeting so many of the soldiers, the brave soldiers that helped rescue so many people from Afghanistan. She was out at Brize Norton, dressed down, not looking for publicity, and more importantly, just there to thank people. How certain people could learn from that, not always virtue signalling, that sort of stuff. But what's emerged is this. According to a very good source at Kensington Palace, it does appear that during that particular time, Prince Harry did reach out to certain members, senior members of the British Royals, asking if there was anything he could do. Now, one of the things that he quite liked the idea of doing was exactly what Catherine, the Duchess of Cambridge, was doing, going to visit some of the troops and thank them and the morale. But as somebody swiftly pointed out to Prince Harry, we have to say allegedly here, that basically they thanked him for his time, thanked him for his concern, but as he wasn't part of the major royal working family anymore, he needn't trouble himself with that. Now, whatever way you think, it was a heartfelt gesture from Prince Harry. You know, he would have come over here alone, and as I say, I think he has a really strong connection with that. And it must have really irked him to see the Duchess of Cambridge stepping into his shoes. And as one person rightly said, it's very nice of Catherine to do this, but she wasn't out there actively on the ground. Now, you may have seen other reports about exactly what Prince Harry got up to while out in Afghanistan. But what we have to say is anybody basing themselves out there in those difficult times deserves all the respect that we can give them. It can't be easy living out there or in any war zone in that particular area. But as I say, for Prince Harry, he was thanked but politely declined, which gives a strong indication to many people, particularly myself, as to just how much Prince Harry possibly is now missing his former royal life. It's all very well dashing off on a new adventure, but when that new adventure basically stems down to looking at your wife's locks on the front cover of a magazine, it's not that exciting, is it, Prince Harry? Neil Sean in the heart of London.